Tyler Hudson walked into my office Tuesday morning like he already owned it. 3 executives I'd known for over 20 years followed behind him like trained dogs. The kid was 28 years old with an MBA that still smelled like fresh ink, while I'd spent 24 years building our supply chain operations from nothing. "Everyone, I'd like you to meet Roger," Tyler announced, pointing at me like I was some piece of broken equipment. "He'll be handling legacy vendor relationships while I optimize our Asia-Pacific operations. From now on, Roger reports directly to me." Nobody said anything. Marcus from legal wouldn't look at me. Neither would Hugh from operations, or even Dorothy, who'd brought me coffee every morning for 10 years. They all suddenly found their shoes very interesting. "We're implementing AI-driven logistics optimization," our CEO Warren Caldwell explained, putting his hand on Tyler's shoulder. "Roger's institutional knowledge will help Tyler understand our historical patterns while we modernize everything." I was being turned into a museum piece. "Still breathing, but obsolete. Your new workspace is by the loading dock," Tyler told me, pointing toward a cramped desk near the warehouse entrance. "I need this office cleared by lunch for the new analytics equipment. My office, where I negotiated million-dollar contracts with Asian suppliers. Where that photo of me and President Yamamoto still hung on the wall. The handshake that saved us $2 million during the 2019 trade war." "Got it," I said, keeping my voice steady. My watch band felt tight around my wrist. 3 hours later, I watched facilities guys haul my filing cabinets away in cardboard boxes, while Tyler directed computer technicians installing servers where my desk used to be. "The old conference table goes too," he told them. "We're going fully digital, that table where I'd hosted supplier dinners for 15 years, where handshake deals were made that kept our production lines running during the pandemic." My new desk was a folding table with a computer that took 10 minutes to boot up. My phone rang immediately. "Roger, it's Hugh. Tyler just called an operations meeting in conference room B when right now. He said, it's for department heads only." I was being cut out of meetings with my own supply chain team. "No problem," I said. My watch band was really cutting into my wrist now. After hanging up, I found an email from Tyler to the entire department. Subject: streamlining operations, moving beyond legacy inefficiencies. I opened the attachment and somebody might as well have punched me in the gut. These weren't just similar ideas to my 2023 supply chain optimization proposal. These were my exact recommendations, word for word, down to the specific cost savings projections for our Thai and Vietnamese operations. The same proposals Warren had called too aggressive when I presented them 18 months ago. A sticky note appeared on my folding table at 4:30. My office, 5 p.m. sharp. Tyler, I found him leaning against my former desk, typing on his laptop without looking up. "Sit," he said. I stayed standing. The watch band was really digging in. He finally looked up. "Your Asia-Pacific optimization strategy got great feedback in today's executive meeting." "You mean my Asia-Pacific strategy?" His smile didn't budge. "Your research provided useful groundwork, sure, but groundwork isn't architecture, Roger. I've modernized and elevated your basic concepts into something that actually scales. You copied my work word for word in some sections." "That's a serious accusation," he said, closing his laptop, "especially from someone in your position." "My position? People who've been at one company too long often become territorial about outdated methods. Warren understands this transition period might be challenging for you. So that's why you cut me out of my own team meeting. I needed honest feedback about operational leadership efficiency. People aren't always comfortable providing real assessments with legacy management sitting there." I got what he meant. He'd been collecting complaints about me. "We're restructuring the department next month," he continued. "Some positions will be consolidated, others will evolve. Your future here depends entirely on how well you adapt to new systems." The threat was obvious. "Anything else?" I asked. "Yes, the Yamamoto contract renewal tomorrow. I'll be handling it, Yamamoto Industries. My client for 16 years. President Yamamoto had specifically asked for me to handle their annual review. I spoke with Yamamoto-san this morning. He understands our new operational direction. Tyler was systematically stripping away everything I'd built. My responsibilities, my relationships, my reputation. That's all," he said, looking back at his laptop. I walked out, passing the glass conference room where my team was still meeting. They went quiet when they saw me, eyes darting away. Whatever Tyler had told them had poisoned the well on my folding table. A new email from HR, performance improvement plan, confidential. A formal PIP, first step toward getting fired. The document cited resistance to new methodologies and territorial behavior regarding operational changes. I'd given 24 years to this company, missed my son Aaron's Little League games for emergency supplier calls, worked through Christmas breaks to prevent production shutdowns, postponed my divorce settlement meetings to save key contracts. Now I was being pushed out by someone who'd built his entire strategy on my work. I packed my things without saying goodbye to anyone. In my truck, I sat for 20 minutes in the parking lot, loosening and tightening my watch band. It had cut a red mark into my wrist. But instead of getting angry like they probably expected, I started thinking clearly. They thought they were watching a man get systematically torn down. They expected an emotional blow-up, maybe a resignation letter. They had no idea what they were dealing with. My name is Roger Steinberg, and 3 weeks ago I was the Senior Director of Supply Chain Operations at a manufacturing company that had just merged with our biggest competitor. I'm 49 years old, divorced, and share custody of my 16-year-old son Aaron. Before this mess started, my biggest worry was saving enough for Aaron's college tuition. The merger brought changes, sure, but nobody expected them to place a 28-year-old MBA with zero manufacturing experience directly above someone who'd literally built the department from scratch. I joined the company straight out of college when we operated out of 2 warehouses with heating that barely worked. We now have facilities in 8 countries. I personally negotiated 6 of those expansion contracts. My team respected me because I'd earned it the hard way. When Pedro's wife got diagnosed with diabetes, I restructured his shift schedule so he could drive her to treatments. When Hugh's apartment flooded, I helped him find temporary housing through my supplier contacts. When Dorothy struggled with her first computer system upgrade, I stayed late for a week until she figured it out. I knew their kids' names, their anniversaries, their dreams beyond our warehouse walls. Tyler knew none of this. To him, they were just data points to optimize variables in his efficiency algorithms. During his second week, Tyler called Hugh into his office. Hugh came out an hour later looking pale, avoiding eye contact with me. The next day, he presented his new approach to our Vietnamese supplier network at the department meeting, an approach I'd been privately coaching him on for months. Same thing happened with Pedro and his loading dock improvements, with Dorothy and her vendor database reorganization. One by one, my collaborative projects were being reframed as individual breakthroughs under Tyler's inspiring leadership. She asked about your management style, Dorothy whispered during our coffee break. Whether you micromanage, take credit for others' work, resist innovation. What did you tell her? Dorothy looked down at her coffee. I tried to be diplomatic, but Roger, he records everything. He had his phone on the table during our entire conversation. Tyler wasn't just rewriting the present. He was revising the past. By week 3, my team stopped asking me questions. Emails went unanswered. Invitations to supplier calls disappeared from my calendar. I was getting ghosted within my own department. The final kick in the teeth came when President Yamamoto called me directly, confused about why I wouldn't be handling their contract renewal. Tyler San explained you're taking on strategic planning instead of client-facing roles. Yamamoto said through our translator. After 16 years building this relationship, it seemed like an abrupt change. I picked my words carefully. Well, we specifically requested you in our contract terms. If you're not involved, we may need to reconsider our options. When I mentioned this to Warren, he seemed distracted. Tyler has some innovative approaches to the Yamamoto portfolio. Give him a chance, Roger. Change can be good. That evening, I watched through the conference room windows as Tyler presented my Asian supply chain strategy to the executive team. My slides, my data, my cost projections, all with his name on the cover page. I should have gotten angry, but instead something clicked into place. I'd been playing by rules that Tyler had never acknowledged, following a social contract he'd never signed. Time to change the game. I went home and pulled out my external hard drive minus the one where I'd backed up every project, every email, every supplier contract for the past 15 years. Not for this moment specifically, but because I'd always believed in protecting operational continuity. What I found as I searched through those archives made my hands shake. I worked through the night, cross-referencing, connecting, analyzing. By morning, I had something that made me loosen my watch band for the first time in weeks. Tyler had made a critical mistake. He assumed my value came from my title, my office, my direct reports. He thought by taking those away, he'd neutralized me. He didn't realize my real power came from 24 years of watching, listening, and remembering. From supplier relationships built on trust rather than algorithms. From knowing exactly how our operations functioned at every level, knowledge no org chart could capture. I got to work early. Before the security guards finished their rounds, I placed a single manila folder on Tyler's desk with a simple note. For your review, Historical Supplier Payment Analysis, 2019-2024. Then I left to handle my 8 a.m. call with our Bangkok facility. The one remaining meeting still on my calendar. When I returned at 10:30, something had clearly happened. People were huddled in small groups, conversations stopping when I passed. Security guards stood outside the executive wing. Warren and the entire leadership team were behind closed doors. Dorothy hurried over, eyes wide. What did you put in that folder? Historical context, I said. Tyler ran into Warren's office 20 minutes ago, looking like he'd seen a ghost. Then security came. I nodded and sat at my folding table. Aren't you worried? Dorothy asked. About what? She gestured toward the executive offices where raised voices could be heard through the soundproofing. No, I said. I'm not worried at all. At noon, Warren's assistant appeared. Mr. Steinberg, Mr. Caldwell requests your presence in the executive conference room, immediately. The walk felt surreal. Eyes followed me down every hallway. Whatever was happening had spread through the entire facility. I found Warren seated at the head of the table with our legal counsel and HR director. Tyler was nowhere to be seen. Sit down, Roger Warren said. His expression was unreadable. I chose a seat directly across from him, loosening my watch band slightly. The file you left for Tyler, he began. Where did you get this information? From our company archives and publicly available financial records. Legal counsel, a sharp woman named Patricia Wells, leaned forward. You've made extremely serious allegations. I haven't made allegations. I corrected her. I compiled data. The patterns speak for themselves. Warren rubbed his temples. You're claiming Tyler deliberately implemented supplier payment modifications at his previous company that led to their bankruptcy, and now he's replicating those same modifications here. The data supports that conclusion. That's absurd, Patricia said. Why would anyone deliberately sabotage their own employer? I met her gaze. 3 months before his previous company filed for bankruptcy, Tyler received a substantial consulting fee from a private equity group that later acquired their supplier network for 20 cents on the dollar. The same private equity group that now owns 35% of our company following the merger. Nobody said anything for a long minute. You understand what you're implying, Warren said quietly. I'm showing you numbers, dates, and financial transactions that exist in public records. The patterns are identical. Patricia's phone buzzed. She looked at it, then stood up fast. We need to contact the Financial Oversight Committee immediately. When she left, Warren stared at me like he was seeing me for the first time. Tyler claims you're retaliating because of the performance improvement plan, that you fabricated this conspiracy theory. I opened my laptop. Would you like to see the original sources? Everything's cross-referenced. Warren's phone rang. He answered it, his face getting paler with each word. When he hung up, he looked 10 years older. Tyler has been suspended pending investigation. He said, the Private Equity Oversight Committee is flying in tonight. I see. He studied me carefully. You've been with us 24 years. 24 years, 3 months, actually. Why didn't you bring this to me directly? I thought about that. Would you have believed me over the rising star who promised to cut supplier costs by 30% in 6 months? His silence answered everything. You authorized him to place me on a performance improvement plan after 2 decades of clean reviews. I continued. You allowed him to dismantle my supplier relationships without consultation. You applauded when he presented my strategies as his own innovations. Warren winced. I thought you thought he represented efficiency, and I represented the past. That's exactly what I thought, he admitted. What do you want, Roger? I almost laughed. I don't want his job, then what? I want the Yamamoto contract back today, before their reconsideration deadline. I want my supplier relationships restored. And I want proper credit given where it's due. Warren nodded slowly. Done. All of it. As I left the executive floor, my phone chimed with messages from team members who'd suddenly remembered my existence. I ignored them all. At my folding table, Dorothy was waiting with actual coffee instead of the break room swill. Security took Tyler's laptop, she whispered. They're scanning his emails going back 2 years. Thorough, I said. By evening, Tyler's name had disappeared from the company directory. His office, my former office, sat empty, the computer servers already being removed. At home that night, I poured myself a beer and finally let myself think everything through. My hands had stopped shaking. My watch band felt normal for the first time in weeks. My phone rang. Unknown number. Mr. Steinberg, this is Patricia Wells from the Oversight Committee. We need to discuss your findings tomorrow morning, of course. Tyler has retained legal counsel. They're claiming wrongful termination and defamation. There it was. The counterattack, I understand. The information you compiled is compelling, but his legal team is questioning your methods and motives. Everything in that file can be independently verified. So you say, we'll need to examine this thoroughly. In the meantime, you're on administrative leave pending our investigation. Administrative leave, same status as Tyler. In one move, they'd neutralized both of us. I see 9 a.m. tomorrow. Please bring all source materials. After hanging up, I sat without moving. Administrative leave meant they were treating this as a dispute between equals rather than an exposure of financial fraud. My doorbell rang. Through the peephole, I saw Hugh shifting nervously. I should have stood up for you. He said when I opened the door, we all should have. I let him in without saying anything. Is it true about Tyler sabotaging companies for private equity payoffs? You tell me. You worked with his supplier modifications. Did anything seem off about his cost projections? Hugh looked down. The Vietnamese contract changes. They're impossible without destroying our long-term relationships. I tried to tell him, but he said you'd made us too comfortable with modest margins. And what did you think? I thought he hesitated. I thought maybe he was right. Maybe you had become too conservative. His honesty hurt, but I appreciated it. The Oversight Committee meets tomorrow, I told him. I'm on administrative leave, same as Tyler. That's crazy. After what you uncovered, they're treating it as a personal dispute, his word against mine. But the evidence can be interpreted different ways, especially when one party has powerful legal representation. Hugh's expression got hard. What can I do? I studied his face. Why did you come here tonight? Because I was wrong. Because we all were. And because I've worked with you for 8 years. I know who you really are. Then that's what I need. People who know who I really are. The oversight meeting the next morning included not just Patricia and the executives, but nearly 15 people, including Hugh, Pedro, Dorothy, and other team members. Mr. Steinberg, Patricia began without any pleasantries. We've reviewed your file on Tyler Hudson. His legal representation claims you've misrepresented data to create a false narrative due to personal animosity. Beside her sat an expensive lawyer who smiled at me like a shark. Furthermore, they've submitted evidence that you've been resistant to necessary changes, underperforming in your role, and attempting to undermine new leadership. The lawyer slid a document across the table, a resignation letter already written. Mr. Steinberg, Tyler is prepared to drop potential legal action if you retract your claims and resign immediately. The room went quiet, every eye on me. I picked up the resignation letter, feeling how heavy it was. This is quite thorough, I said. Written in advance, I assume. The lawyer nodded. We wanted to make this transition smooth. Smooth for whom exactly? Before Patricia could answer, I put the letter back on the table. I won't be signing this. The lawyer's smile disappeared. I strongly advise reconsideration. Tyler's counter-evidence is substantial. I look forward to reviewing it. All of it. Patricia nodded to her assistant, who handed out thick folders. I opened mine to find dozens of pages, emails taken out of context, performance metrics selectively presented, statements from team members that had clearly been edited. As you can see, the lawyer said, Tyler has documented a pattern of resistance and underperformance that predates his arrival. I flipped through the pages slowly, then reached into my briefcase and pulled out my own folders, one for each person present. What's this? Patricia asked. Context, I replied. The folders contained complete email chains, full performance metrics showing consistent departmental growth, and most importantly, notarized statements from team members who'd come to my house after Hugh spread the word. Hugh was first to speak. Tyler told me Roger was being moved toward early retirement, that I should distance myself if I wanted to advance. Pedro nodded, same here. Said there was a confidential performance issue he couldn't discuss, but we should align with new leadership. Dorothy added, he told each of us that the others had concerns about Roger's management style. The lawyer's face turned red. These statements are clearly coerced. They're notarized, I replied calmly. Each given freely with witnesses present. Patricia studied the folders carefully. This still doesn't address Tyler's core claim that your financial analysis is vindictive fabrication. No, it doesn't, I agreed. For that, we need independent verification. I stood and walked to the door, opening it to reveal Edward Torres wearing a visitor badge. This is Edward Torres, former CFO at Tyler's previous company. The lawyer jumped up. This is outrageous. We weren't informed of additional witnesses. Edward took a seat beside me. I was terminated 3 months before that company collapsed after raising concerns about supplier payment irregularities. When Roger contacted me yesterday with the patterns he'd identified, I recognized them immediately. Patricia leaned forward. Mr. Torres, are you claiming Tyler deliberately undermined your company? I'm stating that the supplier payment modifications he advocated were identical to ones that bankrupted us, despite multiple warnings about long-term consequences, and that he received substantial consulting fees from the private equity group that ultimately acquired our supplier network. Warren, who'd been quiet until now, turned to Patricia. We need financial compliance involved immediately. The lawyer was texting like crazy. My client rejects these baseless accusations. Mr. Torres was terminated for performance issues. Edward smiled grimly. Actually, I was offered a generous severance package in exchange for a non-disparagement agreement, which I signed regarding the company. But that agreement doesn't prevent me from discussing individual employee actions, particularly when they might constitute financial fraud. Patricia turned to the lawyer. Does Tyler wish to respond in person? The lawyer's phone buzzed. He looked at it, his expression going sour. My client is unavailable. Then we'll proceed with a full investigation. Mr. Torres, we'll need a formal statement. Already prepared, he replied, pulling out a sealed envelope. As the meeting ended, I stayed seated. This wasn't victory yet. Investigations could be stalled. Evidence could be reinterpreted. The room emptied except for Patricia, who looked at me with new interest. 24 years at one company, she said. That's unusual these days. Loyalty used to matter. It still does, to some of us. She gathered her papers. You'll remain on administrative leave during the investigation, but with full pay and benefits. How long will it take? Hard to say. These things can be complex. 2 weeks passed. The investigation proceeded behind closed doors. Tyler didn't return, but no formal announcements were made. Corporate strategy minus de mimel, minus de minus de minus 9 of G, minus de minus de corporate scribe, corporation actions minus corporate strategy delay until people lose interest. On Friday evening, as I worked on my 1967 Mustang in the garage, Warren appeared. May I come in? I gestured him toward my workbench without stopping work on the carburetor. The investigation has complications, he admitted. The private equity group is applying pressure. They're threatening to withdraw support if we pursue this. Of course they are. The board is concerned about stock implications, so Tyler gets away with it. Warren winced. He won't be returning. That's something. While I remain in limbo until everyone forgets, we're prepared to offer a generous severance package. I continued adjusting the carburetor. The board meets Monday to finalize everything. After he left, I didn't look at his folder. Instead, I focused on the honest work of restoring something with my hands. My phone rang as the sun set. Edward Torres. They're burying it, he said, without any greeting. I know. The private equity group offered me a consulting contract to refresh my recollection. Are you taking it? He laughed bitterly. No, but they'll find someone who will. What will you do? He asked after a pause. I looked at my Mustang at the progress I'd made over months of patient work. I'm going to finish this carburetor, I replied. And then I'm going to finish what I started. Monday morning, instead of staying home, I drove to the office in my best suit. Security waved me through. Apparently nobody had revoked my access. The office buzzed with unusual energy. People stopped talking when they saw me, eyes getting wide. I walked straight to the executive floor, where the board meeting was scheduled. Outside the conference room, Patricia was speaking quietly with Warren and several board members. Warren spotted me first, alarm crossing his face. Roger, you're not supposed to be here. I know, I replied calmly, but the board should have complete information before their vote. I handed Patricia a sealed envelope. What is this? The missing piece. The reason I was certain about Tyler's private equity connections. Warren reached for it. I'll make sure they review it. Actually, you should open it now. All of you. Something in my tone convinced them. Patricia broke the seal and removed a single page. The board members gathered around, reading over her shoulder. Their reactions told the story. Eyes getting wide, Sharp breaths, one man actually stepping backward. "Is this verified?" Patricia asked, her voice shaky. "Every detail. I spent 2 weeks securing additional documentation." Warren looked physically sick. "Why didn't you present this initially?" "Because I needed to see how far certain parties would go to protect their interests. Now I know." Patricia handed the document to an assistant. "The board needs to review this immediately." I nodded and turned to leave. "Roger," Warren called. "Where are you going?" I smiled for the first time in weeks. "To clean out my desk. I won't be needing it anymore." As I walked away, urgent voices called for immediate legal counsel. By noon, news had spread. The private equity group that engineered our merger was actually a shell corporation controlled by our main competitor. Tyler hadn't been sabotaging companies for personal gain. He'd been executing corporate espionage, systematically weakening targets for eventual acquisition. My evidence didn't just implicate Tyler. It revealed an entire network of placed executives across multiple manufacturing companies, all working toward the same goal. My phone rang continuously. Reporters, board members, regulatory officials. I declined all calls, focusing on packing my few remaining items. Dorothy appeared as I closed my last box. The private equity representatives just left under security escort. That was quick. Warren called an emergency meeting. "There are people from the SEC in the conference room." I picked up my box. "My work here is done." As I reached the exit, my team formed an impromptu gathering. Hugh stepped forward. "Where will you go?" "I've received several interesting offers. Turns out exposing corporate espionage makes one quite marketable." "Will you stay for the meeting? Warren wants to publicly acknowledge what you did." I shook my head. Some acknowledgments come too late. 3 days later, Tyler got arrested at his apartment. FBI Financial Crimes Unit. The news showed him in handcuffs, looking nothing like the confident MBA who'd walked into my office weeks ago. Hugh called that evening, said the team wanted to apologize properly. The whole department was meeting for drinks Friday if I wanted to join. I appreciated it, but I was busy. Had 4 job offers by then, and consulting pays better anyway. Aaron came over that weekend for our usual father-son time. We worked on the Mustang together in the garage. "Dad," he said, tightening a bolt on the engine mount, "I heard what happened at your work. News travels fast." Mom said, "You saved a lot of people's jobs." I adjusted my watch band. "Just paid attention, that's all." She also said Tyler guy tried to steal your ideas. People do that sometimes. The important thing is having the documentation to prove it. Aaron looked up from the wrench he was holding. "Is that why you always keep copies of everything?" "One of the reasons." He smiled. "Smart." 6 months later, I was consulting for 3 different manufacturing companies, all wanting help identifying potential insider threats. Turns out my experience with Tyler made me something of an expert. The SEC investigation revealed that the corporate espionage network had targeted 12 companies across the manufacturing sector. Tyler and 7 other planted executives faced federal charges. The private equity group paid $50 million in fines and penalties. Aaron's college fund was secure. My reputation was stronger than it had ever been. And every morning when I put on my watch, the band felt just right. Look, if you've stayed with me through this whole story, you know this wasn't just about some office politics. This was about what happens when experience meets arrogance, when patience beats panic, when doing the right thing matters more than keeping your head down. Too many good people get pushed around by smooth-talking operators who think an MBA trumps 24 years of real-world knowledge. But here's what I learned. Your institutional memory, your relationships, your reputation for getting things done, that's power they can't take away from you. They can move your desk, steal your ideas, even put you on administrative leave, but they can't change who you are or what you've built over decades of honest work. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies, it's rising so far above them that they become irrelevant to your success.